Hello, world. Welcome to WFHR's Rapids Report for this October 8th, 2025. Have your host, James, here. I'm going to send a big shout out to our friends at Crockett Septic, sponsoring the half an hour and the time that we get with our good guests. And boy, do we got some great ones today. Friends, family, really, family natural foods. We have with us today Stephen and Katrina Hittner. Good to see you both. How you guys doing?
Great. Yeah. Thanks, James.
Yeah, thank
We got a great list of things to get into today, but before we go ahead, I want to rewind a little bit. You guys had your big anniversary special over the past weekend. I heard nothing but great things about it from the community and people that were able to attend. How did it go? How did you guys feel it went?
Yeah, it was great.
It's always one of my favorite times of the year. I mean, it's so much work that Katrina and myself and all of our team put into it. And thank you to everybody back at the store right now who put in so much work on it. But it's just connecting with the community, and we love how people come in. You know, you always hear about this, and soon it's going to be Black Friday, right? Like about a month from now, and you always hear about these sales where people are like trampling people and they're elbowing and they're shouting
mine.
and
it's mine.
And they're doing all this terrible stuff, and it's kind of like the low of humanity and consumerism ultimately.
Yeah.
But it's the opposite at our events. Like, you know, I
Friends
always,
are meeting friends there.
Yep. Everybody's just kind of comes in, they hang out longer, they're chit chatting, they're getting free samples, they're trying new foods.
What are you getting? Oh, I've never tried that. I should try that.
Yeah, and we just feel a real like outpouring from the community of gratitude.
Yes.
And it's also from us. Like we're just like, it's a customer appreciation day sale. And it is celebrating our anniversary as well, but it's always like, wow, we're so grateful that we have such a great community.
It's a really interesting point, Steve. You know, I've been going there for so long. I've never really thought about this, but it's never been busier than on those days that I've gone in there.
It is.
And
it's nutty.
I mean, it is really, really busy. But I have never felt like any like rush or rudeness or that energy that usually comes with a lot of people being in a building or in a retail setting or something like that. I've never gotten that energy. The energy remains the same. It's still just a wonderful, welcoming
it's more
vibe.
like a block party, you know?
It's
like a meeting of neighbors and friends.
I've talked about, and we talked about the fellowship and that being a fun part of the anniversary. So I never thought about how that things still remain just as calm and collected and all that. It's a very cool point.
And there's a few things we just want to mention. I mean, one, again, like Stephen was saying, thank you to the community for 79 years. Like we feel, this year the word honor came to my mind. Like, wow, I feel really like 79 years. I feel really like what gratitude and thanks I have and for that. But I don't know. I like, we wanted to highlight, of course, we had awesome vendors. Like they were all great. And we're going to do a sampling of one of our teas in a little bit that one of our vendors were there. But we wanted to highlight this man named Keith, who is part of Farm Aloe.
He was the MVP.
He is the MVP. We're going to talk about him for a minute. He deserves it because he's 92 years old. He is the founder of Farm Aloe. And so Farm Aloe is an aloe vera-based company. He started it over 50 years ago.
This guy made the longest drive. And he stayed the longest.
Yeah, and he's 92 years old.
He when we talked to him about coming, he said, "Oh, what time do you open?" I said 9. A lot of the vendors don't show up till 10 or 11. It'd be great if you could stay until at least 1 or 2. And he was like, "Oh, well, you open at 9, I'll be there at 9."
He was there before Stephen and I got there, which we got there early.
Yeah,
and
he
got
was there
there
before like
earlier.
8:30, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you need to get something done, call a 90-year-old.
Yes.
Absolutely.
But yeah, his journey with aloe, like he's started 2 different aloe companies in his life. And it's quite a long life, obviously. And this is his second company, and he just does aloe. Like he said, "Oh, I've always had people call me and say, 'Hey, would you sell this? Like the latest trendy thing? Would you do this? Would you do that?'" His thing is aloe, and he does it the best.
And he's so genuine. He's like, it's simple. You just take aloe. It helps with all these things. And he doesn't take any pharmaceuticals. And he actually
drove himself.
He drove himself
over 3 hours drive.
His love is his business and helping people, and you can see he's always looking into research and learning about it.
And he's like, he's not content with where it is yet. He's like, oh, this year, I think he was saying, this year it was going to be the biggest year ever because we came out with these aloe capsules that are more concentrated. They're 100% aloe, no other added ingredients. He said this is going to be on national TV pretty soon. we're doing clinical studies. We're starting with horses, which is kind of cool. Actually, I asked him how he started his company, and he said, oh, well, originally somebody gave him an aloe plant. There was no aloe supplements back then. There's just plants. And he was living down in New Mexico, and he just kind of had this plant in his house, like we all have plants, right? And he was like, oh, the person said it was good for, healing things, but whatever. But his daughter had a horse, and the horse got caught on some barbed wire and really mangled its legs. The vet said hey, we got to put this horse down. You can't heal this kind of leg. You can't tell a horse to stop moving, et cetera, et cetera. And he was like, oh, I don't know. Let me talk to my daughter. This is going to be hard. And then he thought, hey, I got this aloe plant. So the vet left, and he cut open the aloe plant, put 2 leaves of aloe, or I don't know how many leaves. It's a horse, probably huge, right? Put this on the horse, kind of taped it on. I don't know how he did it. But anyways, he said he put that on, and then he took it off a couple days later, and the leg was already healing.
Wow.
And he called up the vet after doing this a couple of times, and he said, hey, do you think we can save this leg? And the horse ultimately, and the vet was like, whoa, I've never seen anything like this.
Wow.
And that started him on his mission for aloe.
He also was the first to freeze dry aloe, so that made it way more accessible. So he's a pioneer in this.
Sold it around the world, multi-million-dollar company.
Apparently, aloe makes you look young, too, because there's a great picture of him on your guys' Facebook page. Encourage people to follow the page and support that. And he does not look in his 90s.
No.
He may look younger than me. He looks good.
He's in good shape.
And he said he feels like he's in great shape.
My favorite part is I'd be like, well, how do you feel? He's like, I'm like, do you feel like you're in your 50s? He's like, I feel younger than that. And I'm like, wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, he feels half his age. What's going on here? I'm just like, okay, I'm going to take aloe. And he told us this story because he's like, oh, some people just say oh, it's genetics or whatever. But he says I had 3 siblings. They all died before they turned 65.
Yeah.
It wasn't car accidents or anything. All 3 of them died of health problems.
Wow.
And his father was a heavy drinker and smoker, and Keith got him taking aloe. He stopped his bad habits later in life. So he started this later in life. He stopped his bad habits, all those things, started taking aloe, and he lived till he was 90 something.
Yeah.
So he could change his health outcomes because he didn't have good health outcomes with what he was doing.
Wow.
And he stopped those things, took aloe later in life, and reversed a lot of stuff, which is really incredible.
Yeah, Keith is just an inspiration to hear from, and what a guy. He just takes aloe internally. This is what we're talking about. Everybody knows about aloe for healing a sunburn. Well, it heals sunburn so great. Why not see what else it could do for your body? And there's so much research around aloe. There's everything from cancer research that's been done with aloe to a lot of GI health.
A lot of GI.
Heartburn. Heartburn is a great one. It heals, your whole digestive system. And if your digestive system's working better, then your health is better.
Right.
I mean, that's where you get your nutrients from. If your body's able to get nutrients from food better, it all kind of compounds. It
absorbs the nutrients of foods better. So there's a study. We have it printed out, and you all can take a copy of it. But it talks about how if you take aloe vera with your normal supplements, it enhances the absorption of vitamin C in particular by tenfold. Wouldn't we want to have better absorption of those things and overall better health with the foods that we eat?
It's such a value when you look at it that way. If it's going to optimize everything else, supplements or food or just health that you're doing, it's just optimizing all those things.
Yeah.
I think just even talking about this, there's a lot of people out there that never would have even thought of taking aloe. Putting it, like you mentioned, on a cut or something like that is what we're familiar with. Yep. The fact that it could be a supplement, I think, is brand new.
Yeah, it's really cool. So, of course, we had so much fun. We're so thankful for everybody that came out. It was great having Keith and all of our other reps that were there, and it was amazing.
And before I move on, I just want to thank the both of you and your staff and the work that you did on this for the community, because as much as we appreciate it, this is also an opportunity for us to thank you and the great work that is being done over there.
Thank you, and definitely our staff worked hard getting things prepared, and so I'm grateful.
Still working hard. We're picking door prizes right now, so you might get a call any minute now.
Yeah, you may. But for those of you that missed our anniversary, don't worry, because Steve and I have been doing something for the last few years that we want to highlight the month of October as a thankful and gratitude. A lot of companies that maybe we don't do sales with, or maybe there's some of our favorites in our store, we like to extend it for the whole month for those of you that maybe missed our anniversary sale. So I just want to take a moment to highlight some of these companies that we have. Their whole line is on sale for the whole month of October. So our Family Natural Foods line is on sale. Carlson's Fish Oil Company, which have wonderful different
Lovely
fish oils.
family-owned company from the Midwest here.
Illinois, yep. And then Terry Natural, I think you all know that brand. We love it in so many different varieties of supplements too. Newton's Homeopathic, this really only goes on sale once a year. So it's a really great, lots of diversity of different things that can help with different ailments. Homeopathic company.
Yeah, homeopathics offer a lot of options for things or people that other supplements may not be the right fit for.
Yeah.
For example, I have an 8-month-old daughter, and she's teething right now. And there's some wonderful, from Newton's Homeopathic, teething drops that help. She actually asked for it. Like when we're giving her, usually when you give kids medicine, they're fighting you. She's like, "Oh, give that to me."
Yeah, she's like, bring it
Yeah,
on.
because it works really well and it works really quickly. But there's, what other things can you use
For
teething?
babies
I
and
guess you can
such.
use Tylenol.
If you're my son, my thumb. It's the only thing that worked. It was at JC. He had to have my thumb.
Okay.
You guys were stuck together.
Yeah, we really.
You're attached. Yeah.
Yeah.
So homeopathics, a lot of things. Like my wife would take some homeopathics while she's pregnant. We have a whole line for kids. We have a line for pets. It helps with things that there's really not a lot of other stuff for ringing in the ears.
Yeah,
or
sciatica, things like
Yeah.
that. Just really interesting things. Some people use it for menopausal support, but lots of good success with
check
diversity.
those out. They're on sale. It's not often.
Herbs Etc., which is a brand that has a lot of stuff for immune health and lung
New
health.
Mexico company. All the formulas were made by an herbalist. Very unique. Some really special products.
Yeah, absolutely.
Their sleep formula sells like crazy.
Oh, yeah, because we all need sleep. It's true.
That's right.
Pronerum essential oils. So another thing that maybe you don't want to take
Midwest
something
company.
internally, but here's something great you can use topically or diffuse in your rooms, classrooms, etc. Those are great. Himalaya, which is a kind of Ayurvedic-ish company.
Yeah.
They have a lot of, they have some powders, they have some really cool formulas, they have some really awesome toothpaste.
Yeah, this one's not Midwest-based, actually.
Most of them are, though.
This company is based out of India, but they bring a lot of really good Indian herbs, very high quality, and often a good price. Interestingly, our best seller from them is toothpaste.
Yep.
So,
More
go figure.
west than Midwest, that one.
There you go.
Yeah.
Nice, James. Enzymedica, which is a specific enzyme-based company. This one also only goes on sale once a year. Great for any digestive health. And I don't know if you guys remember this, but guess what? Thanksgiving, Christmas is coming up, Hanukkah is coming up. We eat a lot more food, right?
Yeah.
So this is great to get now, so you can have it helping you through the holiday season, as well as learning, oh my gosh, enzymes just really help my digestive system.
Yeah.
I got 3 more here. Wild Theory, which is a Wisconsin-based CBD line. They are on sale. Vital Planet, which is a really good digestive formula company, probiotics, digestive
Cleanses.
health, cleanses.
We've talked about them a number
We've
of
talked
times.
about them.
We've had speakers come from the
Yeah,
company and
yeah.
talk. Yeah.
Yeah. And then True Grace, which we kind of have talked about as well. They have great whole food multis, great probiotics, great
Fish
mushroom
oils.
line.
Mushroom lines are the ones to hit up this time of year because immune health, right?
Immune health, totally.
Yeah.
And one of our favorite, at least as far as just speaking for my mom and dad, one of their favorite companies. They love True
Yeah.
Grace. They really
Yeah.
Yeah,
do.
Wisconsin-based company, women-owned, family owned. It's not a, it's kind of a special one like that. We like having them in the state here.
We need to make an announcement about our WellBell presentation, which we are excited about this one, but the date has changed. It's not tonight, October 8th. It's actually going to be October 14th at 5:15. We had to change the date for Lori. So that's our WellBell presentation, which is focusing on hair, skin, nails, health.
Yeah, we talked about them in a past program. So if you wanted some details before actually going to the talk, listen to that. But if you're just interested in hair, skin, and nail health, which, who isn't, I guess, just come to the talk because Lori's one of the owners of the company. She worked with a medical doctor who has a naturopathic degree.
Yep.
And they created this really unique formula that's becoming very popular and is very effective. And that's what she's going to talk about. So that, that's worth coming in. Anytime you get somebody who started a company, like we were just talking about Keith or anybody else, there's a real passion you can hear in their voice. And we're excited to have Lori come into our store.
And we live in such a great day and age where, you want to look better as you get older and take good care of your skin and all these things and your hair and your nails and all that stuff. And you don't need to have be able to have be a Hollywood actor and have a specialist next to you or something like that. In this day and age, there's so many different ways to be able to do this or take in these kind of things. And it's by choice. So, okay, I take it this way or I do it this way. Or there's so many different options for people.
I mean, speaking of Hollywood, Lori was mentioning one or two celebrities that won't leave home without this hair, skin, and nail supplement. Like they value that. I mean, their face is literally
their money.
Yeah, exactly.
My agent the other weekend tells me, now the play is done, I'm going to be getting back into auditioning and all this, and she usually gives me a couple monologues to go over and learn. Nice. She sends me a file about how skincare treatments and how I need to take it. Like, that's what I need to be focusing on. That's
okay.
All right, James, next week, Wednesday.
Between us, I seriously thought it was a commercial, and I was supposed to be memorizing like it was my lines. It was nice. This was instructions. That's what
nice. That's great.
But it's how much it's going on. Even people like at my level and stuff, they're focusing on this. And to anybody out there, regardless of what you do, you want to look what you look in the mirror. You want to feel good about these things.
Yeah,
well, a lot of the ingredients in her formula, if you look at it, from a discerning eye, like Katrina and I would, you'd say like, oh, some of these ingredients are good for all sorts of things in your body. There's zinc in it, which is good for your immune system during cold and flu season. There's some MSM, which is good for digestive health and joint health. So oftentimes your skin, especially, but even your hair and your nails, they're a reflection of your inner health. And when people come in, they say like, "Oh, I've got this skin problem." I'm like, "Well," I end up having a long conversation with them. It's not like, "Here, throw this stuff on your here's a tube of something, put it on your skin." It's like, "Well, do you know if you have any allergies? Like, what are you using to wash your clothes? What are you doing?" Like it's complicated.
How's your digestive system?
It's in some ways the most complicated because it hides a lot of things. A lot of things that could be internal, a lot of external factors. So, addressing hair, skin, and nails is tricky, but it's exemplary of your entire health.
Yeah.
Speaking of how you handled that situation or would handle the situation, also speaks to why we stand by you guys so much. We appreciate Family Natural Foods so much because a lot of places would just hand them something.
Yeah, here's a cream.
Asking those follow-up questions is part of what we appreciate what you guys do over there, you and your team.
Yeah, thank you. Absolutely.
Sometimes you find stuff people don't realize, and it's often life-changing, and that's the conversations we really like having with people. Sometimes they take a lot of time. Sometimes I'm only selling people a little bottle of vinegar for $3 or something, and it's like, okay, I'm not making a lot of money on this, but that's not the point. It's like, hey, we want you to feel better and we want results. So, sometimes you got to ask a few more questions.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Okay, and mark your calendar for November 18th at 5:15. We did this last year and it was a hit. It's a Q&A or question and answer panel discussion.
Bring your questions.
Bring your questions to Family Natural Foods, and it can be a wide variety of different things. That's what's fun. We'll have about 4 or 5 of us.
It'll be fun.
We're going to get Mike Hittner there too, so bring questions for him.
In case you heard of that guy.
Yeah, and it'll be fun. So it'll be like a ask any questions you have versus a lot of our presentations are so focused on one topic. Yeah. This is great because it really can be, okay, here's a question, all right, here's answers. And
last year we had an herbalist on the panel, and we had like a nurse who is like focused on natural health. I think we'll have her back again. We'll see. We're getting together. We'll touch base again on the next podcast here. But yeah, put it on your calendar and start writing down some questions. Yeah.
There's a lot of questions that I'm just time-wise I'm not able to ask, so I will usually show up to this and ask all those questions then. I will just directly ask you, who's your favorite cartoon characters and things like that.
That's a good one.
Not really helpful, but, questions.
Worthy.
They're questions.
It could add humor. That's healthy, too.
That's always a good thing.
What do we have here?
We have a tea sample for you. This is by 4 Elements. They are one of our vendors that they came.
Was the bell when the tea was done?
Yes, it's exactly what that was.
Okay, it's perfectly done for James here.
This is called Sinus Minus. So it's got spearmint, mullein, and thyme. And all of these are really good for opening sinus areas, throat opening. This is a Wisconsin-based company in the Baraboo Hills, and
they grow everything on their farm that's in this tea.
I could smell the spearmint right away. And speaking of the sinuses, just smelling it felt like it opened some things up. Like, that's great.
Yeah.
Try this.
And the powerhouse really is that mullein, which really is great for lung health. It got really popular over COVID time because of lung support. It's overall like, pretty simple flavor. Of course, if a person wants it sweeter, add some honey to it. But it's a really good tea for all sorts of ear, nose, throat stuff.
We've had a lot of people, even in the last month or two, come in for mullein, and they're always asking for it. And they'll ask me like, oh, what do you recommend? We have it in all sorts of forms, tinctures, capsules. But I always tell them the best form is probably a tea. If you want to really enjoy it, you can like kind of breathe it in. It coats your throat. And it works great in a tea. This formula, everything from 4 Elements, is made by an herbalist. Jane's the owner of the farm. She's been doing this for 40 years.
40 years, I believe it is.
Yeah, a long time. We've known her for a long time. She feels like part of our family.
Yeah,
almost. like a distant aunt or something, or a second cousin. Or...
You don't see her very often, but you know her.
Yeah, like we'd see her like as kids, just like at different conferences or health talks. I'd go to her talks and wealth of knowledge.
Yes.
And she, what's unique is that she grows all these things. She makes them herself, and they work. And this is, I think, one of her best selling products.
I've never tasted anything like that. Yeah, my throat has been horrible for like a week and a half.
Yeah.
It hasn't felt this good in a week and a half.
Great. We got a little extra for you. You can drink for your next guest coming in.
I really got to say that is a game changer right there. Yeah. That is different.
Such a nice, simple tea. And I was telling people.
Nice, warm, like the flavor's great, but the feeling on my throat and it felt great. It felt really good. That's nice. I haven't gotten that from tea before. I'll tell you.
Yeah. I was telling people over the weekend, I was like, even if you don't need this tea right now, get it in your cabinet, because there's going to be that day where you're busy at theater, or you're most likely sick, or you've whatever it is, and you're going to want this tea, and might be on a Sunday afternoon when we're closed. Have this in your house. It's going to be nice, and it's such a lovely tea. A lot of people just drink it, daily.
Absolutely.
No, I can see that.
Yeah,
and which I would.
Speaking of tea, it's totally tea season. We have a lot of really great tea companies. Some that have coupons going on, like the Rishi brand out of Milwaukee. And then I'm just gonna.
Yeah, there's a $2 off coupon on their boxes of tea, which are already like, I don't know, they're $10-12 or whatever. So like, nice little $2 off coupon. Rishi tea out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. They make some of the best tasting teas ever.
But they have like health benefits as well as tasty benefits.
Yeah, not as focused on that as maybe 4 Elements is, but they do a beautiful job with their teas and their sourcing of their different herbs and stuff. And they have it in tea bags, so you can make it at home. It's wonderful.
Yeah. And then I just want to tease it, because I know we're getting low on time, but a lot of people are thinking about their immune system, and they maybe been seeing letters come through the district about hand, foot, and mouth that's coming around. Ooh. It's not a fun one to deal with. We have things for that. We have things to help boost your immunity.
Yeah, and I take some of these things just daily. You know, if I was an adult that's got kids in the school system.
Or you're in the school system.
Or, I don't know, I take these things even though I don't have a kid in the school system. But, like prevention is worth a pound of cure, or whatever. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, and I think that's totally true. I don't think anyone would disagree with that. So some of these things could be used preventatively. For this one in particular, propolis extract in a chewable form would be great for kids. And the chewable would get in your mouth, where you want it, right? In this scenario. But it will also help your whole body kind of stave off, immune health stuff.
It happens to be on sale right now, or there's like ViraPro, which is really great. It's got lots of heavy hitters for immune health.
Elderberry, zinc, all sorts of great ingredients.
And then, of course, there's topical things you can put on to help with healing and soothing. Yeah. So definitely come in and see us if you're like, oh, I don't want that, or oh, I got that, or you know what? So we can help you out with that.
My throat feels great. God, it feels good. I want to sing right now.
Oh, do it.
Yeah. Do it. Great. I don't think we have time for that, James.
No, nobody has time for that. Nobody does. We'll make time for you guys anytime, though. Thank you for making time for us. It was wonderful hanging out with you guys, as always. You can hang out with the gang over at Family Natural Foods at 910 West Grand Avenue, right here in Rapids. Give them a call, 715-423-3120. That's 423-3120. Be sure to bookmark their webpage, familynaturalfood.com. Find out a lot of information that way. And, of course, follow their social media accounts, their IG, their Facebook. Wonderful things, not only to have pop up in your timeline, but great way to keep up to date on all the cool things they are doing over there. Share their stuff on your pages. pages. You just never know who might see it otherwise. Buy local, support our friends over at Family Natural Foods. Thanks for the time, you two.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us here for another edition of WFHR's Rapids Report.